Hello everyone and welcome to this question. When you're learning a new piece, is it important to practice in different locations? If so, why and how do you do this personally? This depends, I guess, really on what sort of musician performer you are. So if you're a street band, in a street band, or you're a busker, absolutely do this because it'll help you massively. Even if it's just sort of places that are local to you, like just even parks or things. So it can be sort of the first stage of being able to perform around people, near people. But again, learning as you go isn't the worst thing. A lot of it comes from that, really. We're always learning, aren't we? So, even the most established performers learn from performances that they've done, particularly like if they're performing in a different venue to what they've played in before, because it's changing a variable. If you perform the same song in several different venues, you'll notice different things, and you might even think that you perform a tune in one certain church, quite a small church, and you might think, oh, that's a fantastic performance, excellent stuff. And then you go to somewhere else with different acoustics, and then one part of the song sounds ever so slightly different. You might then adapt your singing or playing to that venue, but it might also then work in other venues as well. So you'll pick up things as you go along. And that's another thing. Acoustics is a massive thing. So when you're playing in different locations, like for example, we as a choir at university have performed in York Minster before, and it's a lovely, lovely building. Just one issue with it is you can only really hear yourself when you perform. So you could be stood almost literally, I have been stood next to other people, and it's so hard sometimes to even hear them. It's weird. You can only really hear your own voice. And so there's that really to consider. Like the acoustics of a place. If you're performing outside, again, similar thing. In York, we've got one place where people have actually been told to stop busking and pointing speakers in a certain direction, because it ends up going down a small street and it booms down the street quite literally, and there's office blocks there and shops there, and it makes it very disturbing. Whereas if they point their speakers in the other direction, it eliminates that problem. So, and again, performing outside, it helps you. For example, for example, if you're a street band and you're playing things like saxophones, trumpets, tubas, and the like, you're obviously putting wind into them. There'll be some instrumentalists there that are playing like a drum kit that will be attached to your body, or like a bass guitar with a battery amp in a backpack, or a guitar even. Those people don't have to worry so much about being outside. But those that are playing woodwind instruments, the power they put through their instrument when they're inside in a room that, acoustics are bouncing off the four walls around them, will be completely different to when they go outside. Because when they go outside, the sound just goes. And if you're in an open space, it literally just goes out. And that's it. It's not coming back to you. So you have to put through more effort so that a wider range of audience can hear you. So there's that to think about. And again, if you're singing along to backing tracks, you'll have to learn how loud to put your backing track so that you can be heard, but then you're also not too loud and things like that. And then if you often perform in different settings, indoor and outdoors, then practicing in those different locations or similar to will just help you. It really will help you. It's an underestimated thing. Personally, it's not something I massively do now, but I do and did quite enjoy playing on, like, even just at university, the different pianos in the different music rooms, because they were all ever so slightly different. Even the same ones that were the same make and model were still ever so slightly different. And you learn just tiny different characteristics about that piano that you can then keep thinking, oh, well, I've played a piano with a heavier bass on it. I've played a piano with a slightly trickier pedalling system. You pick up on those things and it actually helps you just adapt for the future. So applying that to then locations where you're playing, slightly more portable instruments, it should get easier the more you do it. So I do think it has its benefits. But yeah, I think that's some food for thought at least. So yeah, I hope that answers your question anyway. So cheers, bye.